Good evening, everybody. I welcome us to today's class. My name is Femi Idowu Akinleye. Uh, I promise to give us a brief of all our discussion this semester. Uh, at the beginning of this semester, we started with pastor and church sound. Pastor and church sound. When we are talking about the pastor and church sound, is a very crucial and important topic which we don't supposed to joke with. Today, many of us don't think that the church sound is very important, but it as important as the money we are collecting in the church. Because without sound in the church, we won't achieve much. Sound is contributing to a great development in the church. And by definition, we can define a sound as an appliance which amplifies the audio sound of a minister or performance so that the large congregation of people can hear what the preacher or the singer is singing. You know, in the church, we have the preacher and we also have the chorister who is the singer in the church. So we need something to amplify their voice so that many people will be able to hear what they are saying or singing. In a church which we have uh, 2,000, 3,000 sitters, you know, it takes for a good sound for everybody in the church to be able to hear what the preacher or the singer uh, is singing. So when we are talking about the church sound, it's something that we need to take very serious because sound invites people into the church, and also sound can also drive away people from the church. If you don't have a good sound, it will drive away people away from your church. If you have a good sound, it will give people comfort and it will make them to stay in the church. Because when people like what they hear, it gives them comfort. It makes them to be in that atmosphere. So talking about uh, sound in the church, pastor need to have the good understanding of what sound is all about. When pastor don't have a good understanding about the church sound, the church will just be producing uh, noise, noise. Because sometimes the pastor can be all in all. It has happened in so many places that we may not have helping hand that we are going to assist. But when pastor have such knowledge, he can easily train people, or even he can sometimes be in charge of it. You know, let's look at uh, all these weekly activities when you don't even have people to assist. Just sometimes pastor can be there, set the engines, set everything, and go back to go and minister when everything is intact. You can also train people and assign responsibility to people on how to use all those things. So that is the reason why church pastor needs to have good knowledge or good understanding about the church sound. Ah, as I've said earlier, that when you are talking about church sound, we are talking about something very important aspect of the church. Church sound started from the scratch when you are planning to build your church. When you are planning to do the architectural plan of the church, we need to put the church sound into consideration so that after all, you will not be missing out that, oh, this sound is not the way we think it should be. Let's do this, let's do that. Because it can cause you to spend a lot, even more than what you have used to build the church. If you want to rebuild or you want to make your sound to look good later, like some of the churches, even a good example of it is Bowen. The Bowen before, is not producing good sound, they have to spend a lot to change the atmosphere so that we can be producing good sounds out. So when we are talking about church sounds, it started from when you are planning for your architectural design of the church, how your church will look like, how you want it to be. So that is the time you start uh, talking about or thinking about how your church sounds will also look like. Today also that we already have churches all around, all those churches that white people has helped us to structure, today we plan and we have been destroying it little by little, not having the knowledge of what science is all about. We plan to remove all the ceilings that can absorb sand. We plan to remove the rug, change them to tiles which cannot absorb sand. All these things destroy our sand and does not give good comfort, a good sound in the church. The way we position our speakers and some other things in the church does not encourage or does not make church to have a good sound. So all these things we need to put consideration, and I will talk about it little by little because we've already discussed it in the class before. So when we are talking about positioning of the speakers, we need to position our speakers as higher as possible so that before the sound will reach the level where people are seated, it has been normalized. Your speaker needs to be raised above the head of people. It's not that you mount your speaker in such a way like uh, all these lagbo people that you put 4 speakers, 10 speakers together at the same as if we are building wall. No, that is not how to position speakers in the church. We need to position them as high as possible. Even if you have enough, you need to hang them on your ceiling so that before it will come down, it will have been normalized, everything will have give a good and perfect sound. It's only your woofer that you can put below, that you can put on the ground, that woofer is just to produce bass, a soft bass for you. But the one that will be producing sound, it has to be up so that before it comes to the level of where people are seated, everything will have been normalized. And also, when you are positioning your speaker, you don't position your speaker that will face each other because there is no way it will not be giving feedback, which is noise, giving you echo. So even most of our drive that have relay is not when this speaker is give there is going to be a kind of delay when you have a slave that have relay. It's going to be giving you a kind of delay. It's not the same time that this one release sound out that the other one at the back will release sound out. So and in such a way it's going to be like kind of delay. So yeah, we need also to take note of that aspect as well so that when you are uh, positioning your speaker, you position it in such a way that it will not produce noise. So positioning your speaker in the church is very, very also important. And also those things that is required that you need to make use of in the church, like your microphone, your wire, which is microphone cables, the mixer, the slave, uh, also the speakers, and some other equipment that you need to produce sound. You need to get the quality ones that will give you a good sound, not just ordinary microphone. If you get ordinary microphone, it may not give you a good sound that you expected, and this will not uh, give a comfort sound in the church. When you are using microphone and it's sounding like you are using agolo to talk, people will not enjoy it. You yourself as a preacher will not even enjoy what you are preaching. It makes you to to be exhausted. When the choir is singing and someone that even have voice before and the microphone will even just change the voice, or the speaker that is projecting the voice will change the voice and you say, ah, what is happening? Kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀? How is this thing is happening this way? So we need to get quality microphone, quality speakers, quality engines, yeah, slave, mixer, and the rest are things that we need in the church so that we're able to have a good and a perfect sound in the church. So I talk about those things that we use for the church the other time. Like we need to stop removing all those ceilings and all those asbestos. They are very good. They absorb sand. Even using, I will not say we should not use tiles, but there are some places in the church in which you still need to maintain your rug. That using tiles there is not good enough. Even talaso is a little bit better than using tiles in the church. Sand is just like you are throwing a stone on the ground. When you throw a stone on the ground, it is going to give the noise. But sand needs something that will absorb it. If you look at it, if you have been to studio before, you see that everywhere is padded. Why is it padded? So that when sand comes out, they need something to absorb it, so that those sand will not scatter. It will, everything will be able to give you a good and perfect sound. So that is the reason why we need to make use of those old ceiling that we are using. Or if actually you want to use the latest one also, there are some of these good ceiling that can also absorb sand as well. Using rug is very good in our church today. If actually you cannot use rug all around, like in water and some other places, we supposed to play put rug so that it will able to absorb the sound and we have a good sound uh, in the church. So we need to take to consideration how we make use of those things in the church. As a pastor, there are some certain things also we need to take note from maybe when we are using a microphone or we are setting things. The clarity of the microphone we are using is very, very important also. When you are making use of a microphone and that short microphone is not producing good sound, we don't need to be shouting at the top of our voice before people will be able to hear us. So that is the reason why I said we need to make use of a good microphone that we're able to project out, that we're able to give us good sound. So the clarity of those things also lies on the type of the slave and also the mixer that we may use of. In some places that we don't have a sound engineer that will assist us to set our engines. So let me just mention a few things about what we have on our mixer. We have the master volume, eh, which is the general volume. We have the gain, which is also serves as a volume too. We also have the high. High serves as a treble. We have the frequency uh, that that goes along with the treble. We have the mid that project our voice out, and also we have the bass. Those are the four major equalizers our on our mixer. The frequency, which is treble, the high, which is treble, the frequency, the mid, and the bass, which is called low. So those are four things we need to have the knowledge of how we can adjust them so that the clarity and legibility of our voice be able to come out fine. So that people will be able to hear us when we also talk or when the chorister is singing, everything is going to be everybody will be able to hear what the preacher or the singer is singing so that we're able to have a good sound in the church. So talking about church sound, it goes a long way because I said at the beginning that church sound it invite people in the church. It also drive people away from the church. So we need to invest in church science. We need to invest in church science because that is where money is coming from. Many people of us we don't even think of it that that is where the money is coming from. Because when you is our serve as our engine for the church. Because when you make use of the sound in the church is what the pastor is using to preach, is what the chorister also are using to sing. So it's what that is inviting people to the church to give. When chorister are singing, when people like what is happening in the church. So sound contributes a lot to the church. So we need to invest a lot in the church sound so that we can have a good and perfect sound in the church, not noise as used to be. In those days, we know Baptists to have a good sound. When we are talking about good sound, we are talking about Baptists, talking about the Methodists, talking about the Apostolic. But today, the reverse is the case. Baptists also have joined the noisemaker. They are some of the Baptists today. They are noisemaker in the church. Why? We just supposed to be a comfort place. When we come to the presence of God, we're supposed to be feel relaxed. Feel relaxed. Let's dance. Let's listen to the word of God. Let people relax until they are satisfied to go home. But today, because of the noise, people are come to the church in the next 30 minutes. The church is small. Not because of anything, because of the sound sometimes. Because the church sound is driving them away. When the someone that is very closer to the speaker, do you think such person will enjoy the church? The speaker and vibrate Molaya. That is some of those people that they are having bad hair today. Say to want to do. Some of them inherit them all those things from the church. And we are is you come to the church uh, with good health, you go back home with bad health. So we need to restructure how church sounds looks like. So that when the usher is telling people move forward and you see some people and want to stay at the back, they know what some of them know what they are passing through. They don't want to die untimely. Some of them don't want to carry something that does not belong to them home. So that is why some would like to move away from the speakers. Some would like to move away from the speakers so that the vibration of the speaker or the noise that is coming out from the speaker will not be disturbing them. So, but when you have your speaker being positioned very well, that is the way it's supposed to be positioned, anybody will be able to sit anywhere. You will enjoy yourself. There will be no too much noise for any angle. Everything is going to you will enjoy yourself until you are satisfied to go home. That is how church is supposed to look like. Well, for example, I said in the class, if I happens to go to a church today, and if church that particular church I didn't enjoy the sound, I won't go back next time. If today is the microphone, one microphone is making noise, one wire is doing karakara, next time I will not have interest to go to such church. And it happens to so many people like that as well. So we pastors we supposed to have the knowledge and take all those things into consideration. Lastly, about the sound, let's make sure that we invest in those that we put in our console room that serve as church engineer, church sound engineer. Many churches today they don't have church sound engineer. They only just put the radio need and some of the people that have little knowledge about church science in that area. Well, it's not bad if we don't see uh, church science, those are read the course, but we can also invest in them. Let them go and learn. Let them have the knowledge of how church science looks like. When they have the knowledge of how church sound look like, they also were able to do it in such a way that the professionals are doing it. So it will bring out good sound in the church. And also let us educate all our instrumentalists, because it happens that the instrumentalists also contributed a lot to it. This want to hear what is playing, this want to hear what is singing, everything go do gba gba, and guitar want to hear, and the keyboard want to hear, saxophone want to hear, drum set want to hear, and everything will now be noise. We need to educate them, let them have uh, workshop, let them have a workshop among them, so that people able to learn how the church sounds should look like. It's not when they are on the field playing lagu lagu, is different from when they are in the church. It's different from when they are in the church. So things needs to be put in place when we are talking about church service, so that when we are in the presence of God, uh, our sound also can even invite God down. When we have a good atmosphere, it allow the presence of God to be upon everyone. But when gbogbo ọkàn àwọn èèyàn gan ò papọ̀, how will our spirit joins together and invite the presence of God? When our spirit is not joined together, there is no way the presence of God will come down. So, so many things that we are lacking in the church today, we don't know that everything joins together. When you have a good sound that everything is moving the way it's supposed to move, there is no way the spirit will not flow. But when things are not moving the way it's supposed, there is no way the spirit will flow. Àwọn àwọn pé nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ èmi ọlọ́run ti ẹ̀mí máa ń jọ́jú wa ní ṣe pé mi ọlọ́run náà ò sí, even as sound as bá ṣe wọn kókó wà important tó yẹn, it can make not the presence of God to move. So and we just think that what is going on. So let's try to invest in church sound, and it is going to bring a lot of changes into our service. We are going to enjoy it. Before I've mentioned some of the things or equipment that we need, like microphone, the snakes, the mixer, the amplifier, the speakers. We need the equalizers, we need the compressors, yeah, and some other things for our sound, so that we're able to have good and perfect sound in the church. So let me just stop about the sound, so that we able to talk about some other things as well. Also, this uh, semester we also talked about how to uh, how to extend our congregation beyond the wall. How to extend our congregation beyond the wall. I said that church is beyond the four corners of the wall. Naturally, we have a church which is just a building, which can say, okay, this is the four corner. But we can have a physical 10 physical worshiper, we can have 20, we can have 100, we can have 1,000. But we can also extend our congregation beyond that level, that as a preacher we are going to be preacher of the word, because the Bible even said that go ye therefore and make disciples of all nations. Jesus Christ did not send us to a particular church alone. When he came, he was sent to the Israelites and he delivered the message. But when he's giving us the assignment, he said, go ye therefore and make disciples of all nations. So if at all you are within four corners of a particular church, which may be First Baptist Church Shokunyo, you are not only sent to that particular church, you are also sent to other churches, other people around the world. So we are talking about how we can extend our congregation beyond the world. I will talk about the 5 points under this topic. I will talk about 5 points. The first point is capture. When we are talking about the capturing, We are talking about the capturing of the audio, the video, and also the picture. Um, there's three things we need to do the capturing in that aspect if we want to extend our congregation beyond the world. Let me quickly explain the three. When we are talking about the capturing of the audio, we are talking about recording of all the audios and all the audios of all our services. Not a single one that, okay, let me record this Sunday. All our services, we need to record all the audios of all our services. So let's take it as important as ever that all our services that we are doing in the church, we need to record those audio. We need to make sure that all the audios are recorded down. Some of us, we don't have ability to have video camera yet, but we can record the audio so that we can have something to listen to. When you don't record, how will you able to listen to what you have preached? You need to listen to what you have preached also, so that you will be able to know whether you are preaching heresy or not. So if you are preaching wrong thing, you yourself will be able to know. So, and also when you capture your audio, you're able to know that, okay, this is what we have talked about, this is what I need to talk about. That is the first thing. The second thing under the capturing is the capturing of the video. We need to capture the video as well, so that all the recordings have to be put down, and we need to put all our recording down in terms of video, so that we have the video recording of all the events that happens in the church. So the event about your preaching, about one ceremony, about one occasion in the church, we record it down. Sometimes we need to go and watch them. Or even all this, it has been a great evidence, because someone have also give uh, the testimony towards that maybe they even involve the police arresting the the pastor of the church, but thank God they went back to go and listen to what the pastor has preached, said about a particular person, about the government, and they say, this is what the pastor said, and they are saying something outside, like propaganda, combine agenda. So, and thank God that it's being recorded. And if it's not recorded, and there is nothing to serve as evidence. So, but thank God that it's recorded and they listen to it, and that vindicates the person. So we need to record both the audio and the video. Why do we need to capture the picture too? For uh, reference purpose. For, pictures serve as memory of human race. We need to see the pictures of all the events. Like today in our church, there is one event, the birthday of a particular man. So, when they take picture of, if that man passed away, the picture will show the events of what happens today. Oh, those are the people that started the church. Those are what people did during Baton church. These are the picture they took. Those are these things. So people will recollect it. It serves as uh, memory of human. So we need to do the capturing of audio, do the capturing of video, and also take down the picture. After that, the second point, which is talked about the duplicate. We need to duplicate all what we have recorded down. It's not only to record them down, but we need to duplicate them to have more copies. Having more copies, that will give us the ability to give it out, or even to sell, or give it out as a gift, or as free, or even have as in uh, as a copy in our library. But when you don't record, there is no way you're able to duplicate. So talking about duplication, we need to make a duplication of what we are preaching the church. It can also serve as source of income to to the church as well. When you're able to make a creation of your preaching, there are some people that have interest in buying it. Church can also goes out and give it out to people as a gift. So it can serve as a source of income. If we can also give it as a gift to other people. Look at the music we are listening to today. Assuming if it's only the master that the musician is produced, it will not able to circulate to every people around the world. So we need to duplicate and make more copies of what we have recorded down. And the third one talks about the archive. The archive serves as library. Like when we are talking about the archive in this sense, we are talking about how we keep what we have recorded down, what we have duplicated, the way we need to keep them. Firstly, we need to keep them on our system. That is number one. We need to keep them on our drive. It could be our flash drive, external hard drive. We need to save them there so that when our system is developing forth, at least we have something to fall back to. Also, we need to keep them in our cloud, uh, so that if at all there is no any, our flash is no longer there, our backup is no longer there, the one we keep on our cloud is there forever. We can easily go back to log into the cloud and we retrieve it back. Even our archive also, our Facebook page is our archive, our YouTube page is our archive, and other our social media is also our archive. But because of all those video we posted there, serves as our archive. Immediately that we posted it there, it is already serve as our archive. So serve as our library that we can go back there and go and listen to it. You know, sometimes pastor may started a series preaching that okay, part one, part two, along the line, something may just creep in the church and they will abandon the topic. He may not even remember that he has started a series preaching. Later he may just jump to another thing because wọ́n ṣe ẹgbẹ́ àwọn lónìí, wọ́n ṣe Sunday lọ́la, wọ́n ṣe RA week, wọ́n ṣe Media week. Before you know it, pastor kan ti gbàgbé that he has started about a particular topic that he is talking about. So, but when you have something in your archive, you can go back there to go and listen to it. Those things that you are even preached in the past, you can go and listen to it again and make amendment if you think, okay, I need to add something to this. So you can go there again to make amendments. Also, we can also turn them to books. Some of the great preachers that we see today that have so many books, it's not that though most of them have time to write. It's all their preachings that they fall back to. They will give it to people, go and listen to it, and they will turn them to books. So, but when you don't have something in your archive, what will you turn to? When you don't have something in your archive, what will you listen to that you have seen? Okay, let me go and preach this topic back. Let me go and preach those stuff. Even someone gave a testimony about that. A preacher said he preached the first message that he firstly preached when he joined the church, when he was ordained in that particular church. That all those things that he mentioned, he was able to follow them until the retirement. But you know, he has to went back to the first message he preached. He preached that message again. So that is when you have a good archive. But when you don't have a good archive, what are you going to fall back to? So that is the third point. Let me talk about the fourth point. The fourth point talks about our website. The website serves as our mouthpiece. The website, which is our primary way of connecting to the people outside, is our mouthpiece. You know, when you don't have a mouth to talk, your website is saying a lot about it because you on your website you put everything about the church, how your church runs, what you believe, everything about your church has to be put on your website. So you put everything there so that people will be able to know more about you. The people don't need to come to church before they're able to say about this particular church. Since they are able to get to your website, they will say, okay, this is what this church did. Because on your website, your belief is there, the church story has to be there, our history has to be there. You're able to put your audio, you're able to put your video, your pictures has to be there, all the your galleries, you put it there. If you have one outreach or the other, you put it on your website. Everything going on in your church can be put on your website. So it's not like your social media that you can't put. No, on your website it gives rooms for everything. Even join with your social media, you can have your add your social media to your website. So website is your mouthpiece, which every churches must have. But today, if you ask how many church have a website, you notice that it's 1%. 1%. Many people don't cherish the website. In this our locality, they don't cherish websites. They don't care about what website is. And website can also even bring us money. Yes, because you can put a column of donation on your website. If you put a column of donation on your website, put all your structure, what you are doing in your church, you put it there. So when some people come across your website and they notice that okay, this church is doing something which I like or that have also have interest in. Okay, let me donate to them. Let me help them. But when you don't have a website, there's no way they'll be able to connect you. Some of our churches, they are doing great things, but there is nothing to project them to the world. And website is a good avenue to project it to the world. So it's very, very important that we have a website that will project all what we are doing, that we're able to speak for us even when we are not there. The last point, which is our social media, which is the order of the day that people are using to speak to people, to speak to many people at a time, that is spreading the gospel around the world is the social media. Social media is the fastest way that is extending our congregation beyond the world today. Because as I'm uh, sitting right here, I can begin to be live streaming of what I'm doing, and many people will be connected to me, and they will be hearing what I'm saying. And you can't say where that short video will get to, or even the audio will get to. So the social media is one aspect that also may extend our church beyond the world. So as a church, we need to engage in one social media handles or the other. The Facebook is there, Twitter is there, the Instagram is there, WhatsApp is there, and some other social media. We need to engage in one of all the social media so that we'll be using it for the propagation of the word of God, so that the word of God will be able to spread. The gospel of Jesus Christ will be able to spread faster than we are expected. Not only when you are streaming that people will connect with you. Even when you are streaming, you may have 10, 20 people connected with you. But before the day breaks, you notice that 100 people have watched your video, 1,000 people have watched your video, it's now a billion. So using social media, it is a way of extending your job beyond the world, and people begin to connect with you virtually. You begin to be your member. Let's call them a virtual member. They can be a virtual member. They are connected to you. And when we are talking about social media, it has to be regular. It has to be something that you do all the time. It's not that you do it today, you abandon it tomorrow. No, it will not encourage people to stick to your social media. So when we are talking about using social media as a way of extending your engagement beyond the world, there has to be what you do uh, regularly, constantly, that you make sure that when you are, if it is your Sunday service that you want to be live streaming, make sure that it's your Sunday service. If you want to be live streaming your weekly activities too, you can also do it if you are buoyant. So don't let it be do it today, breaks tomorrow, come off tomorrow. No, let it be regular. So that people connected to you will not be discouraged. Because if I have mind over, I want to join First Baptist Church visit here today, and I think they will come up. I waited, they didn't come up. I'm going to somehow downcasted, join another church of mine, Let me, before you know it, people will not like to join your handle again, but we need to make sure that we keep it up and we do it in such a way that we invite others also to be part of our social handle. So talking about how we can extend our congregation beyond the wall. So capturing, duplication, archive, social media, webs, websites. So all those things, if we take them very serious, and we will see that we're able to spread the gospel of Jesus Christ beyond uh, what we also are even thinking of, beyond what we are thinking of. And I know as we do that, God will help us in the mighty name of Jesus. So let's make sure that we do that, and everything will be in good order. N sáré ṣe